Hey kids, hey everyone, and welcome back to Hey Lamb, my Mariah dedicated podcast. I'm your host Matt, aka Treacle, and today I am very excited to share a couple of my favorite lambs in all of the land. First up, we have Gia Parro. Hey Gia.
Hi, hey Treacle.
Welcome, darling. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Very, very well. And also we have Gareth. Hey Gareth.
Hello everybody.
Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys here because you are the G and G from the Adventures of Gigi. Okay, so I'm sure everyone who's listening to me is listening to you. If not, why the hell not? They should be. So for anyone who is on my YouTube channel, because this is a video podcast after all, for anyone that's watching this video podcast who isn't already subscribed to the Adventures of Gigi, Gareth, go ahead and tell the children a little bit about the Adventures of Gigi.
Well, we are the original live chats, Sunday live chats, talking about all things Mariah, and we have suddenly evolved into a beautifully demonstrated podcast, haven't we, Gio?
Oh yes, darling. We've evolved.
It's been very, very seamless. You guys were doing the Instagram lives on Sundays, which for me and Gareth here in the UK, 3 o'clock. And I love that because you can rely on that. And even if I'm working from home, you take a little break and join in. And there's always great topics and things. But now the Sunday show is like the after show where you continue the conversation from the podcast. So I love the fact that it's kind of grown like that. So Gia, remind us of a few like recent, topics on the podcast you guys have covered because they're always really interesting.
Okay, you guys. So the most recent one was a remix episode, but it wasn't just your basic average, let's talk about the remixes moment. It was more of a, let's take our favorite remixes, put them in a randomized list, and then see if we would replace the album version with if we would replace the album version with the remix version, basically. So that was a good one. And we also did a conspiracy episode, Eternally 12. That one was my favorite, I think, that we've done. So you guys got to check that one out.
That was really good. I think that was the one where I flooded you guys on Insta DMs. I couldn't even make it through the episode. I was like 10 minutes in, leaving you guys voice notes, 20 minutes in, leaving more voice notes because it's really, really interesting because, yeah, you guys are like reflecting what's going on in the Lamely and what's going on with Mariah, or you're just picking a topic. And like the remix one you just described, Gia, that sounds really interesting, but it's more difficult than you think. And how many remixes did you guys cover? Because I was like, they're on like 25, they're on 30. How high did it go? Remind me.
There was like almost 40 remixes. It was like 36, 38. How many, Gareth?
I think it was 37.
It's a high amount, but we know Mariah has them. We know she has that many remixes, and that was a really good, interesting episode. Yeah, would you replace the album track or not? And that's quite similar, in a way, related, I should say, to what we're going to do today, because I've wanted to have you guys on the podcast since I started it just a couple of months ago. And one thing we were doing is throwing around some ideas, and I thought it'd be fun to take a concept from one of my YouTube channel videos and then turn that into a podcast. So one of my recent videos was, can I find another single on each of Mariah's albums? And so what we're going to do today is I want to hear you guys' thoughts. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through each of Mariah's albums. I'm going to remind you and the audience what I chose as a potential additional single. And then you can rate it, you can trash it, whatever you think. And I want to get your thoughts. Are you guys up for this?
Of course.
I'm ready.
I feel like this is kind of like the sort of thing you guys do on your podcast. So you guys should be experts at this. Okay, so we are going to go through album by album. And we invite everyone who is listening on Apple, Google, Spotify, or watching on YouTube, get involved. You can jump on Instagram and go to the Hey Lamb podcast on Instagram, so it's at Hey Lamb Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, drop your thoughts in the comments below, so join in with myself, Gareth, and Gia. We are going to kick off with the debut. So if we look at the track listing for the debut, I've got them all here in front of me to refresh my memory as we go through, so I'm not just relying on memory. But if we have to go through and pick something that wasn't a single, what's it going to be? So we had a healthy number of releases. Of course, we had Vision of Love. There's Got to Be a Way was not in the US. Is that right? Gareth, was it just here in the UK?
It was just here in the UK. It might have been the rest of Europe. I feel like there's
Right.
probably people out there that might know more than me about that, but definitely in the UK, not in the US.
Okay, I
Not in the
didn't
US.
think it was this. Okay, not in the US because there was a music video, but yeah, okay, not in the US. So, Vision of Love, There's Got to Be a Way, I Don't Want to Cry, Someday, and Love Takes Time. So, personally, I think like it was rinsed of like loads of singles, but the challenge is, can you find one more? Now, on my video I put on my YouTube channel a couple of months back, I went with All in Your Mind, and I watched my own video back to remind myself, why did I choose that one? I didn't have a really strong standout reason. I just think I was feeling All in Your Mind, and I thought it's poppy, it's fun, it's like vocal showcase. So that would be my pick. But what about you guys? Who wants to go first with a single choice?
Gareth, you go first.
Okay. Well, I know I have to pick one. I do have two.
Okay.
Prisoner, but I always feel that Prisoner should have been a single. It's very Whitney. It would have sounded dated in 2021. So I will have to go for Sent From Up Above because Sent From Up Above feels like the To Be Around You of the album.
Ah,
And I
okay.
think that should have been a single.
I never thought about it that way, and that's a good point you raised. I should caveat this by saying that's not to say that we're going to try and release it now in 2021 because then the music may be because I didn't make that clear in my video. So thank you for bringing that to my mind. So this is like to go back in time, 1990, 91. What do you think would have served as a good single then? Because otherwise that affects people's choices. You might choose something completely different if you think, well, we're going to take something from a 90s album and release it now. It's a different game.
All right. So my pick from the debut would have to be Alone in Love with the Sent from Up Above B-side. So Gareth and I were kind of on the same thought pattern with like a 90s nostalgic sounding moment. But I just went for the one that was sounding more nostalgic to me. I don't know. I wanted a really big 90s moment because to me, the singles that we got, besides Someday, were more timeless feeling. So I
Yeah.
wanted something that was very 90s.
Yeah, that's a good thought actually. Yeah, because you can go back to Love Takes Time, Vision of Love. Yeah, timeless. Someday gives me like really late 80s vibes. I don't even get 90s. So yeah, I love that. Let's have something that is genuinely giving us 90s feels. Okay, so second album, Emotions. Let's remind ourselves of the singles. We had Emotions, Can't Let Go, which should have been a number one. That still hurts. And Make It Happen. So my thoughts when I watched my video back, I decided, and I stand by this, that I wanted to have another ballad moment. I don't think everyone was going to necessarily agree. I just think Till the End of Time is really, really beautiful and kind of grand in a way. I love the way the song ends, and I think I was romanticizing what a music video might look like, and that's probably the strongest reason I have for picking it. So my pick was Till the End of Time. Let's start with Gia this time. What would your pick be from Emotions?
I couldn't decide between Till the End of Time and To Be Around You.
Okay.
So I wrote both of those down actually. But what was released again already? So you said
We had Emotions, we had Make It Happen, and we had Can't Let Go.
then I guess we could do a big ballad moment because Emotions is a bop and Make It Happen is a banger. So why not another ballad?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Then we've got two of each. Gareth, I think you've already mentioned what your choice is, but talk us through it.
Yeah, it would have to be Around You, just because we get those early lead single vibes. So like Your Dream Lover, Your Fantasy. Obviously, it's not become that yet, but you get that sort of like first indication of what we're about to receive. So I would stick with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like Emotions is an album that doesn't get a whole load of talk and a whole load of love because it, for me, is very, very. I think of it as like quite a chilled album because Make It Happen comes from there, but for me, Make It Happen lives and breathes on the stage. I don't reach for the album version, but like mad respect for the Emotions album because it gave us the lead single Emotions, but the rest of it I feel like is just like a late night jazzy kind of vibe, and I feel like a lot of people snooze on the album. But yeah, I kind of forget To Be Around You is from there, and maybe that could have been an interesting choice for a single. So okay, fair. We're not going to do Unplugged. There's nothing really to talk about with Unplugged. So moving on to Music Box. Now, the singles we had, Dream Lover, Hero, Anytime You Need a Friend, over here in the UK, of course, Without You went to number one. And I'm counting Never Forget You as already been released as a single because, Gareth, was that the B-side to Without You over here? I feel like it was.
I think it was a double A side. It was
double A
definitely
side.
a double moment, yeah.
Okay, so we can't have Never Forget You because that's already chosen. So you can't have Dream Lover, Hero, Anytime You Need a Friend, Never Forget You, or Without You already chosen. So because the only like real bop, if you want to put it that way, is Dream Lover, I was like, we need an up-tempo moment. So my choice is Now That I Know. It is such like a roof down, windows down, in the car, turn it up loud kind of song. So I thought it'd be fun to have like a summer jam moment. So I've gone with Now That I Know. What would you guys pick?
I'm torn between two songs, but I have a decision.
I'm torn also.
I would love All I've Ever Wanted because it would be her I Will Always Love You moment, but I've been thinking About You would have been a great up-tempo single.
I completely agree with the ballad. I mean, All I've Ever Wanted was that song for me on the album. I used to play that over and over, and the middle A and the crescendo. I love that song so much. I was just trying to put like more like a business kind of hat on. Like there were already so many ballads and people already say that song was like too middle of the road and all that. So I didn't let myself pick a ballad. I've been thinking About You is really cute and fun. For me, it's just not as fun as Now That I Know. If I had to really pick one, I would always go to Now That I Know. But I think the reason you would pick that is the same reason I'm picking maybe Now That I Know. Gia, you said you're torn. What are you torn between?
I'm torn between Now That I Know and Everything Fades Away. I know that there's already so many ballads and this album is so middle of the road, but why not just keep it in that lane and just add another one? Because in the US, we didn't even get that on the album.
True.
So I just want to be like, let's make it a single and at least get it on the album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because actually, I didn't even think about Everything Fades Away because, again, like, not allowed to release the ballad. There's already been too many, but that's a really good point for you guys in America because you weren't even blessed with that on your album track listing. For me, it's always been part of the album. I forget about it. Like, I don't forget about it. I forget that for other people, it's not, because I always had, Gareth, did you have it on CD? And do you remember like it had like the big hype sticker? And I remember having Music Box on CD, and it had a big hype sticker on the front with loads of like gold stars on the like on the edge of the sticker.
Yeah.
And it made a big fuss about this European extra track, Everything Fades Away.
Yeah, it could have been a nice little deluxe moment for the US maybe if she did release that as a single.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So here's like the final single from the album, and here's a new edition. I love Everything Fades Away, and I think it belongs on there. So I'm happy we've had it on the vinyl re-release. Moving on, we're going to do the Christmas albums, kids. So we are going to do Merry Christmas. So obviously, All I Want was released. Joy to the World was released in some territories. I know there's definitely that Australian 5-track hard CD, and there's some. Are there vinyl releases of Joy to the World as a single as well? Do you guys know?
Yes, the Candy Red.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're not allowed to pick Joy to the World. I also disallowed myself. Now, this is where some albums we're going to have to chat. Miss You Most at Christmas Time. I wasn't sure because I understand there were promo CDs. So
And
I was
a
like,
vinyl.
oh, was there a vinyl as well?
There is a vinyl with like an R&B remix that's the same as the music video version.
Okay. See, I forgot that. So that I didn't allow myself to pick it, and quite rightly. So looking at the rest of the album, I don't personally think anything else needed to be released from the album, but just trying to play my own game and force myself to pick something. I went with Christmas Baby Please Come Home. Just because it is really festive, it does get me in the mood, and maybe it's quite accessible because All I Want kind of grew in popularity over time, whereas Baby Please Come Home, it's been covered so many times, people would recognize it. Maybe they could have, gravitated towards that song quite easily, but maybe that's a bad thing because maybe it would have hindered All I Want. I don't know.
I think that's a good call. I would either do Christmas Baby Please Come Home or God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, just for like a huge vocal showcase moment.
Okay, okay. Gareth?
I actually was going to say Baby Please Come Home just because it's one of those covers you don't need to do a lot with it. So, as we know, when she does a cover, she doesn't do a huge amount to the cover. It's all about the vocals. So, it's the slayage with the vocals with this song that would have made it hers.
But did it really need to be a single though? I feel like the Christmas Baby Please Come Home is big for a Mariah Christmas song.
You know what, though? I think timing is, and I think about it, maybe Christmas Baby Please Come Home isn't the right song to have released back in that moment because you've only got a very short window to promote and make singles from a Christmas album. They put out All I Want. That is the up tempo. So actually, why would you put Christmas Baby Please Come Home out? Then you've got the two big up tempos, like battling against each other.
And they're both very Phil Spector moments. All I Want for Christmas Is You is very much based off of Christmas Baby Please Come Home.
Yeah, true. It's Mariah's take on it and her elevation on it. So actually, yeah, maybe I would change my mind. Maybe I'd be more inclined to agree with, God Rest, because for the vocal moment, yeah, maybe we don't need an up tempo. Okay, the next couple of albums get quite tough because they were really, really rinsed commercially. So moving on to Daydream, my very first Mariah album, we of course had Fantasy, One Sweet Day, Open Arms, Always Be My Baby, and Forever was released. So you're only left with half the album to pick from. So this is one where I kind of bent my rules a little bit because I decided on Underneath the Stars because I didn't count it as being fully released. Obviously, there was no music video back in the day. We only got it recently. But I know that there were promo CDs and things. So if you want to count it that it was not released as a single, you can join me and you can retrospectively release it. But if actually you know better than me and it shouldn't be allowed, then we're going to have to pick something else. I would love to pick Slipping Away, but that was a B-side on something else. It wasn't actually on the album. So I did not allow myself Slipping Away, but I did allow myself Underneath the Stars. I don't know if that's breaking my own rules or not. You guys tell me.
It's tough because where do you go after the singles that we did get? Forever was a tour video. Open Arms, I think, was like tour footage. And then when we finally did get Underneath the Stars, that was again footage of something else. And we already have enough singles. So I would have happily taken When I Saw You. And I know this is twisting it a little bit. I would have taken When I Saw You, brand new video, instead of Open Arms.
Okay. Any particular reason you'd want it instead of Open Arms, rather than in addition to?
Because we already know what she can do with a cover. We had Without You, we had the Christmas album. I know we didn't know fully what Open Arms was going to do, but if it's there on the album, it's there on the album. So by the end of the single releases, what's going to be the last single? Everybody's heard Open Arms. So let's just give When I Saw You a chance. That way, she's giving us a complete original vocal moment instead of a song that is somebody else's that she's making her own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm with you. And When I Saw You really is that melisma moment, and people were starting to really, it's such a move away from Hero, because Hero is a little bit too straight and narrow down the middle of the road, even for Mariah, and people, over time came to point to Mariah as she is the queen of runs, she is the queen of melisma. You can't sing When I Saw You as it is on the album. Like, she did not sing that in one breath from start to finish. That's pretty much how it is presented, because it's just seamlessly put together, and it really is a vocal showcase. I remember my mother really not liking that song. I kept playing it in the car because it's too busy, it's too much. And I was like, it's everything. Gia, what would your Daydream additional single be?
I disagree with both of you guys.
The audacity.
Darling, I can't even with you guys. I can't even know what to say. No, for real though, I hear you, Treacle, on Underneath the Stars. It's an underrated lamb gem, but I think that's where we should keep it. I think we should keep it for us. Gareth, I hear you. I love When I Saw You. I don't think it's single worthy. I personally think we should get a melt away moment. And that should have been a single. If we're not allowed to do Slipping Away. If Slipping Away is not allowed because it was the B-side, we need Melt Away. And that's how I feel about that.
And that's how I feel about that. I'll take that because we're not allowed Slipping Away, and I think Mariah would have appreciated Melt Away, and I feel like she could have really enjoyed that moment. And actually, Underneath the Stars, it had the Drifting remix, which I really love. So it was sent to radio. I think there were promo CDs. There was the Drifting remix. So that's why I wasn't sure if it actually kind of counts as a single. So if I were disallowed Underneath the Stars, actually, I could go with either of your suggestions because I think they're two different reasons, two different moments. But I mean, Angia has just fainted.
When I Saw You, it's not that bad.
She's out. She disagrees.
When I
She's
saw
out.
you, I couldn't breathe, honey. I could not see. I couldn't breathe.
Well, I'm not sure whether that was you that went over or your camera, but while you recompose yourself and just before we move on to Butterfly, we're going to take a very quick break. We will be right back after this. So as I mentioned in the introduction, my guests today, Gareth and Gia, are from their own podcast, The Adventures of Gigi, another Mariah dedicated podcast that you guys should go and check out if you haven't already. Each week, there's a different Mariah topic on the table, and in a recent episode called In the Mix, they came up with a really interesting concept. I really enjoyed this when I was out on a daily walk, and they went in. They put all these different remixes on the table and considered whether they would actually put it on the album instead of the album version. It's a really great episode idea, and I was hooked. Here's a quick clip.
So, how do you feel about the original?
I think it's pretty fire lyrically, but the arrangement and the vocal delivery is not my favorite. It's just not my thing. So the first time I heard the So Def remix, I was like, girl, why is this not on the album? What is she doing? What?
There was some nice deeper vocal moments from her on this remix for the one.
If people had heard this version, I don't think they would have been saying, oh, Mariah can't sing, what's wrong with her voice?
Exactly.
Like, this song is done perfectly.
It's not really a bad thing if it moves too far away from the one with JD on. So we can take JD off. It's still a So Def remix. We still get that whole vibe. It's classic Mariah and JD. It has Bone Crusher on there.
It has more JD on it, but it's better JD. It's perfect.
And maybe I just don't listen that much to him on that version.
What do you mean? They have a whole call and response back and forth to each other.
They do, but he's not like... I feel like that's it. There's not like that bit at the beginning where he's just talking and it's just... You know what I mean?
That's better. It's done better.
Yeah, that bit gets a bit too tiring whenever the one comes on and it's just like, you don't want to be heard again, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, okay. But yeah, I could replace the one with the remix.
Me too. Definitely. I'm not sure how that would sound because the whole album is so whispery and things of that nature. I think that it would really stand out. But wait till we get to Boy because I'm about to replace that one also. So who knows what this album's about to sound like.
I love that. It's such a great idea because I always have said I love the one. I wish the one would have been a single from Charmbracelet, but that's a whole new question. How about putting the So Def remix in place on the album and have that as the regular version? I never thought about that. So Gareth and Gia are killing it with The Adventures of Gigi, coming up with loads of really great ideas, and I flood their DMs and I tell them what I agree with, what I disagree with. You can get involved in the conversation as well because every Sunday they do an after show. So the podcast comes out on Thursday. You have a few days to listen to it, collect your thoughts and ideas, and then you can join them on Sundays on their Instagram, The Adventures of Gigi, and get involved with the after show. So go and check out my good friends Gareth and Gia on The Adventures of Gigi podcast and over on Instagram. Next up, we have the Magnificent Butterfly album, another one that was hugely successful and rinsed for singles. So ones that were already released and we cannot choose: Honey, Butterfly, My All, The Roof, Breakdown. I don't think I've missed anything. So there's actually still a lot of material left to choose from. I wasn't really... Okay, I first of all went to Whenever You Call because I freaking loved that. But then I thought, no, because it was made into like a duet moment on the number ones album. And I liked that moment, so I wouldn't want to take any shine away from it. And maybe if it were released as a solo single in the Butterfly era, the duet version might not have happened. So I kind of left that alone. So in the end, I went with Baby Doll. I think it's smooth. I think it's sexy. I love the narrative of the song. And I thought maybe the song lends itself well to a music video. What would you guys pick? What do you think?
Okay, so first of all, if we're not allowed to choose The Roof, Breakdown, and Butterfly because they were released in Europe, they weren't released in America. So I would have all of those released in America as singles. So
Fair.
then I would choose probably The Beautiful Ones or Close My Eyes or something like that.
Wow. Proper like deep cut. Do you think they'd fly as a single though?
I don't even know, but like, is there really anything else? Did you say Whenever You Call?
I considered that one. Yeah, that was my initial go-to because I just thought it could be. I just love that song so much. But ultimately, I landed on Baby Doll.
I know. I was thinking as I was like saying out loud, like The Beautiful Ones are outside. Or wait, Close My Eyes. Just like all the deep cuts. I was thinking Baby Doll also. But I couldn't. I don't know why.
Did you guys not get... Because I knew that we got Butterfly over here. I had CD1, CD2. And I know that we had The Roof in Europe. Did you guys not get Breakdown?
No. I mean, there's the My All Breakdown single, but I don't think that is actually a Breakdown single.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
The only singles in America were Honey and My All.
Wow.
I definitely have Butterfly and The Roof and Breakdown released.
We had it good over here, Gareth, huh? They were stingy over in America.
Exactly.
But they both went to number one, though.
I don't get how
True.
when she's getting more number ones and she's got, let's face it, a bigger fan base in America, that she's not putting those. I mean, she's probably putting it out there in hope that more people will buy more records over here. But I feel like more people... Lamely fans, whatever, anyone buy Mariah Carey music, I feel like the majority of people are album buyers here.
Yeah, I guess it's business decisions. The label makes these decisions, not Mariah. So I guess some territories they're going for, let's keep her on the radio. So they're putting out lots of radio singles. Other times maybe it's single sales versus album sales. I would love to speak to people that have got more, industry knowledge and how it's changed over the years, because I have been aware that there are moments where we seem to do better outside America for singles, but actually I forgot Butterfly really was that one until Gia just put it that way. So maybe it's just different marketing strategies.
It's really weird to me. Almost every song on Butterfly, at least for the first half, is like, this definitely could have been a single.
Yeah, I don't think you could really go much wrong. Like, the only song really you can't release off Daydream is like Looking In, and the only thing you really kind of need to leave alone is Outside on Butterfly. Everything else you can maybe Close My Eyes. I don't know if I would choose Close My Eyes for a release. I think it really is just that beautiful gem of this is so personal, it's the fans that are going to get this. I think leave it for that moment, but otherwise you can't really go wrong picking anything. But
I think there could be some killer remixes for The Beautiful Ones if she had worked with David Morales back in the day on that song.
That'd be interesting. I did appreciate the amount of love and light you guys gave to The Beautiful Ones on your podcast recently, because I agreed with everything you said at different points, because I think at one point you said it's a bit off-putting, the very, very beginning, and it's a bit long, and I did used to skip, and I was like, an uncultured, teenager, whatever, I would skip, like, I was like, oh, no, there's like the plinky plonky slow song. But actually, when you get through like 3 minutes in, it's just fucking fantastic. It is like everything. But I don't feel like everybody is patient enough to get through to that point. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of where you guys were at on your chat, right?
Yeah, on our covers ranking, we definitely showed The Beautiful One some love, because I feel like it gets a lot of hate for a Mariah cover in the Lamely. The opening keyboard is a little jarring, like you said, like we talked about, and I feel like people don't have patience because songs nowadays are like 2.5 minutes long. So
oh, I am fed up of albums where it's just full of radio edits, because it used to be like the singles were like, you'd get the song and then you'd get the radio edit, that's fine, but then it's like they're already deciding which songs on the album is going to be, it's not Mariah, this is, just in general, they're already deciding which songs are going to be released, and so the album version is already the radio edit. But now, because of playlists and the way things work, any song can go forward onto a playlist. Every song is already a freaking radio edit. I'm fed up of songs being like 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
It's not a proper journey.
Yeah.
They're only making songs for 15-second TikTok nowadays. And I can hear it in the way that the songs go. Because, like, they're waiting for that TikTok drop and that viral moment. I can definitely see it in most music that comes out nowadays.
Yeah, that's it. Albums are going to be just 10 minutes long and it's all cut for TikTok already. Okay, let's move on to Rainbow. Remind ourselves of the singles. Heartbreaker, Can't Take That Away, Against All Odds, and Crybaby, because Crybaby was paired up with, for us over here, Gia, again, it was paired up with, actually, was it a UK release? But for me, Can't Take That Away and Crybaby, it was like a double A-side moment. Like, they were released together. And Thank God I Found You.
Taking my singles. I can't even.
Well, for me, Can't Take That Away. Like, there are CD singles. There's vinyl release. So that clearly was a single. There's a music video. There's 2 edits of the music video. The whole tank top being dry wet. There's a vinyl. I have it. I've shown it to you. The white one with the beautiful rainbow.
That's Can't Take That Away.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Crybaby.
Oh, sorry, but it's on there. Crybaby's on that. Crybaby on a lot of these releases, Crybaby is there as like the 5th track. And I had the Crybaby promo CD, which was her in that purple shirt against the wall, and then the CD was a beautiful blue color, and it was the radio edit and the album version, and it had a music video.
There was a CD single, and I have the Can't Take That Away vinyl, and on the back it has the Crybaby in the purple outfit that you're talking about. Yep. Okay. Right. Well, fuck it. I mean, that takes off my single choice that I was gonna pick.
We'll hear from Gareth first, then that you can give you some thinking time. But you can't have Heartbreaker, you can't have Mariah's theme, Against All Odds, Crybaby, or Thank God I Found You. So there's so much. So I thought I don't want to release After Tonight and try and have the My All sequel. So I went with How Much. I thought that is very much of the time. I know it sounds dated now to go back to, but like thinking back to 99, 2000, I felt like maybe that could be a cute commercial release. So I went with How Much. Gareth, what would your pick be from Rainbow?
Same-ish. I wanted to go with How Much because I know the singles aren't like, we're not talking about them being released in 2021, but in 2021 that could still sound trendy for its time. Whereas Prisoner now, as a single, would have sounded like, oh my God, that's not timeless. But How Much featured Usher was trendy at the time. It would still be timeless. But then Ex-Girlfriend is a standard, obvious choice. I would go with that. I don't know which one I'd pick.
Yeah, I think How Much or Ex-Girlfriend is scratching pretty much the same itch.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people really feel strongly about Ex-Girlfriend. For me, I like it. I don't love it, but How Much or Ex-Girlfriend, I think either would work well. Gia.
I like what you guys are doing. It's cute. I just don't think I can. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that we need to have a vulnerability moment into Petals into Rainbow Interlude as the single. And I think that's the only way. I honestly don't think I'd release anything else.
Wow. I'm trying to like, okay, trying to picture like music video moments, like promotion moments. I don't know that that's that would be like a for the fans moment rather than
It would be it wouldn't be like this music video or this single gets a music video single. It would probably just be like that Crybaby single. Like, oh, this is it. Even though Crybaby has the music video, it would just be like what's a single that really didn't get single treatment? Triumphant.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but even I was gonna say, even Can't Take That Away and Crybaby, like she was leaving Sony, it wasn't getting any promotion. They weren't promoting it at all. And Mariah was a little bit vocal about it at the time. She felt very strongly about Can't Take That Away. I love the fact she attached her name to it. She felt that strongly about it. She was very passionate about it being released. It was getting zero label promotion. I think the reason we've got such a hodgepodge music video is because that was her pulling it together last minute out of her own wallet to try and get something happening for the single. Crybaby video works better. I don't know if that was label, funded or Mariah funded. But towards the end, I think after Heartbreaker and Thank God I Found You, the label, they got their 2 number ones done. They were out.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. This is just for like my dream number 1 single from the album. I think Petals would have been fun.
Let's move on to Glitter. I mean, do you want to release any other singles, or do you want to just, cut your losses, draw a line under it, and move on? But we had, that's not to trash the album, that's not to trash it.
Because we already released Loverboy, so it already happened already.
Yeah, we can't have Loverboy. We can't have Never Too Far, and we had Don't Stop. Gia, did you have Don't Stop, or is this yet another one that we got and you didn't?
I don't know if I got Don't Stop, but I definitely am not checking if we got Don't Stop.
I feel like they did. Gareth, we definitely got it. I remember the music video for Don't Stop, to my pleasant surprise, being on UK TV a lot.
We got it as double A side again.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, we love a double A side over here. So, yeah, we had, yeah, I forgot it was double A side. Okay, so looking at the rest of the track listing, we've got to pick something. I initially was drawn to Lead the Way because I used to believe that Lead the Way was possibly in contention to be released instead of Never Too Far. And there was that story of them banging on the door to get her to film a music video. And she's like, no, guys, I just can't. I need to sleep. So they then released Never Too Far because they've got that scene within the movies. And I thought, well, maybe the single choice was going to be Lead the Way. And because she couldn't film the video, that's why it didn't happen. But then other people were telling me, no, it was always going to be Never Too Far. They were just going to have a proper video for it, not the movie scene. So I just love Lead the Way. And I think it's a better ballad than Never Too Far. But a lot of people love Never Too Far, so I don't want to be hating on for that. But long story short, I didn't pick Lead the Way. Ultimately, I went with Didn't Mean to Turn You On. Completely different.
We're twins right now, Treacle. But I thought that in the book she said that she was supposed to film a video for Never Too Far. But she was like, why are we filming a video for this? Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, now I need to cast my mind back to all the glitter section of the memoir. But prior to the memoir, I always thought it was maybe quite likely it was going to be Lead the Way. And then the fact that she didn't film the video meant that they kind of had to use Never Too Far because of the movie scene. So that was my thought for years. So I kind of carried around like, oh my God, maybe Lead the Way was almost going to be released as a single. So I always kind of carried that as like a missed single. But like here and now in 2021, I'm like, I didn't, no, I'm fine. Maybe celebrate like the 80s, genius and everything, and just have like a really fun festive moment and go with Didn't Mean to Turn You On. That would be a really fun, very, very camp music video. So Gia, what's your actual choice then?
I would either do Lead the Way or Didn't Mean to Turn You On. Those are the two that I wrote down.
And they're completely
like A side and B side.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe a double A side because they are completely different. Gareth, what would you release, if anything, from Glitter?
I'm feeling that Didn't Mean to Turn You On. I feel like a music video would have replicated the album cover, but I have All My Life, just because I feel like it's not played that much. It's kind of forgotten about. Apparently, it was written by Rick James for the Mary Jane Girls. Apparently, they recorded it. This is all alleged. So she should have owned that moment and the opportunity and used that song for something.
I love that thought of the music video maybe replicating the album cover shoot, and how fun would it have been to have like video footage, because she's all there like flipping her hair up and that would have been really fun, because that's the energy it is. I mean, the scenes of her in the movie performing on stage, and it's like leopard print and really camp and like flicks of like glitter paint on her body, and she's really camping up and down the stage. That's what I would need in a music video for Didn't Mean to Turn You On. So I think, Gia, we've got to go with that. Didn't Mean to Turn You On or All My Life. It's got to be one of those songs, because Lead the Way, it's not going to give me camp 80s realness.
It's not a vibe like Didn't Mean to Turn You On. No, you're so right, darling. And it is very similar to a Never Too Far moment, even though, you know what we should actually do? We should be like, take Never Too Far back, release Lead the Way, and then we do Didn't Mean to Turn You On, baby. That's what we got to do.
There we go. We fixed it. There we go, guys. We fixed the glitter rollout.
Hopefully we saved it.
Can you imagine if we get like another music video for Glitter 20th anniversary this year, and she just takes like behind the scenes footage and she gives us a video for All My Life or Didn't Mean to Turn You On or Lead the Way or all of it? I mean, there's going to be so much unseen, you know, bonus footage, just her on set, photo shoot moments. That would be some serious tea.
Could you imagine if she's been sitting on a music video all this time for one of these songs?
I'd believe it.
She was sitting on Underneath the Stars, the little chunks that she hadn't released yet.
That was buried in the trunk. She was sat on Out Here on My Own. After sitting on that for 2 decades, this woman's capable of any kind of trickery in my book, because that is just criminal to hold back a song that good for that long. I kind of lost a bit of trust in Mariah at that point, because it's not fair. It's not fair. Okay. Moving on to Charmbracelet, of course, we had Through the Rain, we had Boy I Need You, and we had Bringing on the Heartbreak. So there is a good amount of songs left on the album to choose from. For me, it is very, very easy. It's The One. I love what she did with Cameron, taking Boy and making it, Oh Boy, making it her own thing. I love what she did. I understand she fell in love with it. She wanted to, you know, have that moment with him. But I just personally prefer The One. And when they started to film the music video, it was going to be The One. That was definitely going to be a single. And we have the So So Def remix. And we have the club mixes. The Pink Noise remix is amazing. So it really was as close as you can get to being released as a single and then like taken back. It was as good as like On the Shelf and then plucked away. So we came so close to having The One. I'm going to back The One. Gia, you look confused.
I thought The One was a single.
I didn't count it as actually officially released. I thought it was... what makes you think it was a single?
Maybe that's because I'm tripping. Because there's... Maybe it's because there's vinyl promo of The One or something. Or because it was on... I'm not sure. But if The One wasn't a single, The One So So Def remix is the single. But I picked Irresistible. I'm sure that's what Gareth chose too. But I really need to like mess around with the entire Charmbracelet track list. So give me time. Yeah, go first, Gareth, and then I will tell you guys what that needs to be though.
Okay, all right. Gareth, what are you releasing from Charmbracelet?
I would have had Irresistible first, and I would have had Lullaby. I would have had Lullaby as the third single.
Okay. I'm not feeling you guys with Irresistible. That's my skip. I'm not ashamed to say. I've already said it on my album rating video on my channel, so it's not news, but it's just not my jam.
Why don't you like Irresistible?
Because it's boring. It doesn't go anywhere for me.
Wait, so what are you choosing to be a single then?
The One, because I'm counting that as having not been released. Because you're right, there were promo CDs. We had remixes. So I think there were promo CDs, possibly promo vinyl. But when they started filming in Japan, it was for the one, and they took that footage and switched it over to, so it came so close to being a single that it kind of is in people's minds that it was a single, but I think technically it wasn't. So I'm going to release the one. If I had to pick something else, I would go around every single album track before I get to Irresistible. I would try and find a way to release anything else. It just doesn't. It just excites me. I find it very repetitive.
I love that song. It is.
Yeah.
It's so repetitive. But it's such a Mariah song. Like it's very Ashanti Foolish and Heartbreaker and Dream Lover and Loverboy Firecracker version.
You could drop Irresistible and You Got Me from Charmbracelet, and I would barely blink.
Ooh.
Those are like my. I don't know. Treacle. I can't do that. Okay, so this is the way that the track list should go.
Okay.
Is we switch around Through the Rain with the Through the Rain remix. So the Through the Rain remix starts at the top. Then we have Boy or one of the Boy remixes. Then we have the One So So Def remix. Then I don't really care how the rest of the album flows. So it can be whatever you guys want. But that's what I think needs to happen. And yes, the one needs to be released as a single.
Yeah, just for the strength of that So So Def remix alone, and the Pink Noise Club mix, love it so much. Yeah, the one. We need justice for the one. Okay, we're going to take a very quick break, and then we're going to move on to the Monster album, The Emancipation of Mimi, which had like 15 singles released. But we're going to try and find one more. So we'll be right back after this break. Thanks for listening to Hey Lamb, guys. I hope you are enjoying it. If you are, you can leave me a little tip. You can buy me a drink over on buymeacoffee.com. It is a great way to show your support to your favorite creators by buying them a drink. Simply head over to buymeacoffee.com/heylamb and you can tip me with a little drink. Cheers. And we are back, and moving on to the Emancipation of Mimi. The singles we had were It's Like That, We Belong Together, Shake It Off, Say Something, Get Your Number, Don't Forget About Us, and of course the We Belong Together remix made its way onto the Platinum Edition. So lots of things were released, but there are still lots of things that you can choose from. I am going to go with Stay the Night. I'm not a massive Kanye fan. In fact, I'm not any kind of Kanye fan. But I do remember that Stay the Night was featured in some press articles in the run-up to the album. There was some anticipation. I remember Say Something and Stay the Night both being mentioned as contenders for a single, like the lead single. Ultimately, we got Say Something. Stay the Night, I really love. It's a fun summer track. That is my pick. Gareth, what are you going to release if you can pick another thing from the Emancipation?
I would have loved to have picked Stay the Night, but the big notes where it just fades out, you don't hear the end or any vibrato, kills it for me. But I love the song as an album track. So I would have to go with Your Girl featuring N.O.R.E. Yeah.
I feel like Mariah would be very happy with that, because I think that was her intention, is to have it, because the feature was scrubbed, right? Because she was told there were too many features already. So I think if she could keep that feature and release it, because for me, it's a little bit of not a throwaway track. It is an album track. It's not a standout, but she speaks quite highly of it, and I understand it's somewhat of a favorite of hers from the album. So if she could keep that feature and release it, I think she'd have fun with that one. Because I think some of the best releases sometimes are the ones that she genuinely is behind and can have fun with. And I think that choice, she would have fun with. Gia, what are you going to release from Emancipation?
Okay, so I kind of feel you both, but it's Circles.
Okay.
But Stay the Night could be a double A side. So I wrote Stay the Night / Circles. I don't know, but I really think that it should be Circles.
I love Circles. I can get behind that. It takes the album. It shows off a different side to the album, because we've got Circles, I Wish You Knew, Mine Again. I think if you release Circles, you're kind of showing off that part of the album to the general public. And maybe, so I'm feeling that.
But to me, it's just more of like a old classic Mariah vocal, like original album, Emotions album sort of vocal. So I just think that we need more of that.
Okay, I agree. I think there's a good couple of reasons there to release Circles. Cool. Moving on, children, to E=MC squared. We had Touch My Body, I Stay in Love, I'll Be Loving You Long Time, and Bye Bye. So again, plenty of things to choose from. I went with I'm That Chick. I do believe at one point in time the album title was even possibly going to be That Chick or I'm That Chick or something. So I feel like it was in contention. It was like up there, to be considered as a single release. We now have these remixes that came through thanks to MC30. I think the music video would be all the pinks, all the lavenders, all the campness, everything. I think it could have been a fun moment. So that is my pick. How about you, Gia? What would be your additional single?
Last Kiss.
Okay, yeah. I like that. In fact, there's a few songs that are quite samey. Last Kiss is probably... No, I think I prefer Thanks for Nothing, but I wouldn't choose that as a single. I would always choose
I don't know.
Kiss. I prefer, as a song, I prefer Thanks for Nothing, but I wouldn't release Thanks for Nothing. I don't know.
Oh, I can't with Thanks for Nothing. I was tied between OOC and Last Kiss.
OOC, okay. Yeah, bit repetitive, but I like it. I think it could have been good for radio. Gareth, what's your choice?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm very proud of you, Gia, for almost picking OOC as a single because you said you didn't like that song. Cruise Control.
Yeah, that really could have. That could have been a single. In fact, I think the whole album is full. I mean, we didn't even say Migrate. Yes. People are going to be screaming Migrate right now. Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel. This one I struggled with. So we had Obsessed. We had Up Out My Face because we had Nicki Minaj. We had Angels Cry because we had Neo. And we had I Want to Know What Love Is. And in my original video on my YouTube channel, I counted Hate You or HATEU, whichever way you want to go. I counted that as being released because there was a music video. Was it actually released or am I overstating it?
I don't think it was
a single.
It's a single, but there was no physical CD moment, but yeah, it was. It was
2010. It didn't need to be that anymore. I think that there's a Hate You single with a hideous shot of Mariah with a smoky eye on the beach somewhere. I do think there is. I think that exists.
I Want to Know What Love Is got a CD single, but actually, you saying that Apart My Face didn't get a CD single, and neither did Angels Cry. So it switched after the first couple of singles where they stopped with the CD.
There are singles for Up Out My Face on iTunes though.
Yeah,
but there was no physical copy that you could buy for those last three.
And I do believe there is a promo CD for Hate You because it's got remix moments, because I know that it's there on the Utah Mariah Carey Museum. If you go on their Insta, if you comb through or you gonna get in touch and ask, you can find out.
I saw that video.
I don't think we featured that video, that promo CD in there, but I know on the social media I've seen it and I was like, ooh, okay, I don't know if I've seen that before, so I paid attention. So we are counting Hate You as a single. So we've had Obsessed, Hate You, Up Out My Face, Angels Cry, and I Want to Know What Love Is. Now in my video on my channel I bailed. I actually thought, you know what, enough's enough, I can't pick anything else, but I'm going to push myself. I don't love the song, but I think maybe Standing O could have been a bit of a radio moment. But if I pick something that I really like to be released, Ribbon. I know it's going to go down like a sack of shit with Gia. I know. And you know what? And I'm keeping the intro as it is as well. I'm even keeping that intro that you hate. I'm keeping it.
Oh, no, darling, no. It's Candy Bling. It's Candy Bling. I mean, it's Candy Bling. I don't have any words. If you guys want to hear my opinions on Ribbon, you can check out our podcast. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just not a fan of Ribbon. Those first 10 seconds, girl, that's the joke Treacle made. But everybody knows who follows us is the Ribbon on mama, Ribbon on mama. It's skipped. Boop. As soon as I hear it, it's just no.
Oh no.
But that's most of it.
It gets me excited. I mean, I don't love the intro, but it makes me oh yeah, it's Ribbon, and I get excited for it, and I love when her vocals come through. So I would release, do you know what, you could release Standing O or Candy Bling or Ribbon. I don't think any of them are needed, but I wouldn't be mad at any of them. But maybe Gareth can tell us better. What would your pick be, Gareth?
Standing O would be very radio friendly, but I'm torn between Inseparable and More Than Just Friends. I feel like Inseparable is an obvious choice for a single.
I do More Than Just Friends over Inseparable.
The video for More Than Just Friends could be amazing.
That's my skip. I think that's my skip on the album. Like, I don't really listen to More Than Just Friends.
But you like Standing
Imagine the
O?
product placement.
Yeah, I think the video would be. I think More Than Just Friends for TV, Standing O for radio. But I don't actually love either song.
No.
So I'm going to go with Inseparable just for an authentic vocal moment. But Gia, Candy Bling as a single, if she released the remix as the single, and in the video she had a snippet, maybe an intro of the album cut to get people to go and buy the album.
I think a single implies the remix will be on it. So I don't think that's even necessary to say. Like, if you're lambs, you know that there's there's several remixes of Candy Bling, one being the Jump Smokers remix and one being the T-Pain remix. If Candy Bling was a single, I would assume that those two would be on the single.
Okay, we've got a few more albums to power through. We are doing the Christmas album, so we arrive at Merry Christmas to You. We had Oh Santa. We had When Christmas Comes. You cannot choose the new All I Want because that was a single years ago. And you cannot choose Oh Holy Night because I kind of counted. Did I count that as a single on the first Christmas album? I think I did. No, I didn't actually, but I did here. So, okay, I can't even follow my own freaking rules. So you do what you want with Oh Holy Night. I told myself I wasn't allowed it. So I chose Christmas Time Is in the Air Again, which I don't think is going to be a commercial moment. I just felt like that would be a really cute, almost like a live EP, like a live single, just something. Because she gave some really cute live performances, I think in more subsequent years. But I think just to kind of show off like a flavor of the album. I don't think it's gonna be like a big commercial moment or anything like that. Oh Santa was the commercial attempt, but I just feel like to give some kind of music video moment, or even if the video was just a live performance, that would be my pick. Gareth, can you pick another single from the Christmas album?
I have 3.
Oh.
And I know I can't pick 3.
Triple A side, here it comes.
Triple A side, guys. You're welcome. No, I always thought it would be the one child, because that would be the obvious thing to go for.
Are you going to mash it up? You could mash it up with the one from Charmbracelet. We have the one child.
In 94, this would have been, one child, 100%,
What are you talking about?
It's 2010, and One Child is a bit of a cheese moment, proper Mark Shaman classic. It's amazing. Do It Live to Death. Okay, right? Next one would be, oh God, what's it called? The Here Comes Santa Claus, the Snoop Dogg one.
Why are you guys coming for all my skips today and trying to release them? I don't get this.
We snuck in while you were sleeping and took them.
I have no idea what Gareth is on right now, but I know I'm about to pick one of your skips, Treacle, because we remember this last year.
That would have been an amazing single, but only with Snoop Dogg, but we don't have that yet. So it's all hindsight, So it has to be Christmas Time Is in the Air because it sounds like it's a cover. It sounds like it's been done before. But no, it's Mariah's song. And look how well she sings. She can sing this at any point. It's low key, but yet it's not. It's everything you need for Christmas. There we go.
Yeah,
I got
it's Christmas, it's Mariah, but it has that classic, like old Hollywood kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I love that throwback. I love it. Go on, Gia, hit us with it.
She needs to turn the Born is the King into
Oh my God.
Or just release that interlude. 20th number 1.
So, Gia wants to release Boring is the King.
Oh my God, Treacle always says that. He always says that, you guys. Oh my gosh. No, they know. These two know that this is my fucking jam. So she needs to turn that interlude into a real song.
Okay, all right. Just move on from there, Gia. That's fine. On to Elusive Chanteuse. We had #beautiful. We had Your Mind Eternal. And that's pretty much it. So you've got loads of things to choose from. Now, I will remind you that Thirsty came very close to being a single. When I was in the audience at Mariah's concert in Sydney, she had the whole, you guys going to be in my new music video. And she walked through the audience and they played the intro over and over and over.
You're thirsty.
Over and over and over, but nothing came to pass. So you can pick it. It was going to come close to being a single, but I am going to go out there with One More Try as a duet version. Before we lost George Michael, it would have been amazing to have a duet version. That would have been one for like the history books. So that would be my wish list moments. Gia, do you have another single from Chanteuse?
Girl, it's going to be Faded or Dedicated. The entire album, Me, I Am Mariah, was robbed of the proper singles that it should have been blessed with. But no, we can't take it back. So hopefully Faded and Dedicated brought it somewhere.
Yeah, I think either of those have got potential, and I know a lot of fans would love to see something made of Faded. I love Faded so much. So yeah, I can't disagree with that. Gareth, what are your thoughts?
Well, I love the fact that One More Try, because One More Try is a very special song for me. But like, if she'd have just gone for it and there's rawness to it, but if she'd have gone for it towards the end, then yes, 100%. But unfortunately, I have on my list Dedicated / Faded or Thirsty, but only Thirsty if it was a feature, not alone.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, like elevate it or take it somewhere different for like, yeah, a commercial release moment.
When I hear we're turning this into a single, there's going to be remixes made of it. There's going to be more moments with it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. Okay, moving on to the most recent studio album, Caution. We had GTFO, technically, if whatever, not the first official single. It counts in my book. But it was buzz single, hype single, commercial single, whatever. GTFO, we had With You. A No-No, was that actually like a full-on single? She performed it live and we had the lyric video, so I counted that. So I didn't allow myself to pick any of those. So for me... And
there's a music video and 2 remixes.
Oh, do you know what? Sorry, I was getting muddled up there. I was looking at A No-No, but thinking of The Distance.
Oh,
so thank you. Yeah.
That's not
A No-No was a single. The Distance wasn't a single. It was an album track that got a bit of promo because there was a lyric video and she performed it live. Yeah, thank you.
It got promo single treatment, but it wasn't actually a single, which is weird.
So you can pick it if you want. So I don't know why I didn't actually, because I went with Caution. I think Caution or The Distance needed full on treatment.
Or Giving Me Life, but Caution is what I chose. And I know Gareth picked Giving Me Life. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. But yes, I couldn't choose between Caution and Giving Me Life. So yes, that's where we're at with that. But I believe that Caution needed a music video. It needed live performances. She should have gave us Honey, the music video part 2 with Agent M, but pink and blue Caution version with Miami and motorcycles. Girl,
yes.
I DM'd Mariah on Instagram telling her, okay, Mariah, I did. When Caution first came out, I DM'd Mariah. I was like, girl, please give us an Agent M Caution music video. But we got a no instead. So that's what happened.
That's a great concept. I love that. But Gareth, are you going with, well, Gia says apparently you're going with Giving Me Life. Is that true?
Well, I have down Caution, but only if Caution could have been the lead single. But if we're talking about the last single to be released from the album, I would have gone for Giving Me Life. It would have been a great summertime video. Everything that she's singing about could have been in that video. Picturesque, it's my favorite song on the album.
Oh my gosh, it's a really interesting point because it's actually, if it's a lead or like a final single, that kind of actually maybe changes your thinking. And I feel like when the album came out, Giving Me Life got a lot of attention, and maybe that could have bumped it up and like, oh, actually maybe we can do something with this because the fans and the press seem to be responding to it. And can you imagine if Mariah used a music video for this to be the time that she actually unveils Marilyn's piano? because she keeps that very, very private, and she could have the whole moment like reclining against the piano because she's feeling herself and everything. That would have been really, really fun.
I had visions of, yeah, moments of it. I didn't think about the piano, but that would have been amazing. I had visions of like views from her New York home, but also, have you seen the film Coming to America where they go to that like street and they go to the barber shop, like driving along or walking along a street like that in the summer, proper New York, and moments of a like extravagant palatial,
Yeah,
penthouse apartment.
that could work. That could work. Gia?
So what I get from Giving Me Life is definitely a street New York vibe, like the opening song in Rent when they're setting things on fire and there's like the two alleyways. If you guys saw the Mariah Caution World Tour, when she sings Get the Fuck Out, she's in between and she's in an alleyway with like stairwells that like fold and raise up. It's a very street New York vibe. So pink and blue, Caution, Giving Me Life.
Okay, and then just because we have it, so for shits and giggles, the Rarities. So if you could have released something from 2020 or now in 2021, what would you release? And I challenged myself to not pick something that was a B-side. So again, I wouldn't let myself touch Slipping Away. I made it hard for myself. I thought it might be fun to release All I Live For. I'm just really feeling it because I feel like Mariah is really being celebrated as this, I don't want to like over egg it, like this nostalgic artist, and she's really leaning onto her back catalogue because she did hit hard with Caution. We're going to get another studio album hopefully soon. I still want her to be current, but people are really celebrating her for like the massive 90s influencer that she is, and All I Live For is really, really strong 90s. I would love to have a music video that is like a mashup, a collage of like clips from across her career. I said in my video she could dedicate it to the Lambs. The Lambs are All I Live For, and like dedicate it like to us or something. I don't know. It's just a bit of fantasy, but I picked All I Live For. What would you guys pick to release from the Rarities?
Can we just say which singles came from it? Can we agree on which singles came from the Rarities?
Well, which ones are in contention for you that you're not sure?
I'm sorry.
Well,
Yeah, what do you mean?
I'm guessing it's going to be Here We Go Around Again and Loverboy because it got put on a cassette.
A Loverboy is a single.
I would say you can't pick Loverboy because we had a different version of that. But Here We Go Around Again, I'm not counting that Japanese cassette single as like a full-on release. Like if you wanted to release that, I would, by my rules, I would say that's eligible if you wanted to choose it.
What Mariah released as a single was Save the Day and Out Here on My Own. Those were the singles from the Rarities. That's what she released before the album came. Oh, so you're gonna do Out Here on My Own then if you don't think it was a single?
I wouldn't count that as a single. I would say that was like a pre-release and it got a lyric video, but it wasn't a full-on single. But then Save the Day wasn't a full-on single. We had that music video which then disappeared after a few months. So okay, whatever, play it by your own rules. I'm just gonna say no Slipping Away and no Everything Fades Away. And no Do You Think of Me, because that was a B-side. They're the three, and Loverboy. They're the four that you can't have.
All the good songs.
I would have happily have had a release, Close My Eyes, as a single for this.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Because it's an updated version, and then they sell the crap out of it however they do it now, because obviously they're not doing it the same way they used to. And then they can make the references back to the one from the Butterfly album so that the new fans or any potential new fans can go and find Butterfly.
That makes sense because it is a whole throwback moment with the Rarities. So it's a nice way to kind of tie it back in. Yeah. This is a new interpretation of a song from a really big album in the back catalogue. So it kind of throws attention back to it. Okay. Gia, thoughts, feelings?
I'm really pissed that you're not giving me the opportunity to finally release Slipping Away as a single because that's what should be a single off this album.
It was a B-side. So it's already had like its B-side moment.
Justice for Slipping Away. Anyway, it's going to be the one song, Lullaby Birdland, then, because that's the only other song that I'm like, either that or All I Live For. So it's going to be one of those songs because unless you're letting me actually release Out Here on My Own as the single,
you can do that.
Then it's Out Here on My Own. Definitely. I think that we should have got Slipping Away, but if we're not allowed to, it's Out Here on My Own.
Only because technically it was a B-side, but yeah, actually, Out Here on My Own is my favorite song from the album and arguably my favorite cover she's ever done. It's just come out of nowhere and it's definitely top 5, top 3. You know, I think it really is that one. So Out Here on My Own is a great choice. All I Live For is maybe up there, like I can't decide which. Okay, right. We made it through eventually all of the albums. So, guys, if you have been listening, hit me up on Instagram. Go to @HeyLambPodcast on Instagram and let us know in the comments on the post related to this episode what your single choices would be. If you are watching on YouTube, drop a comment below. Thank you, Gareth and Gia, for that. We have got just enough time to play my resident game here on the podcast. It is time to play Spin, Pin or Bin. So I'm sure you guys know the rules. I hope everyone watching and listening knows the rules. Quick recap. I'm going to randomly select 3 songs from Mariah's catalogue with my random generator, excluding the Christmas catalogue. I'm saving that for Christmas time. And you have to allocate 1 to spin, 1 to pin, 1 to bin. So bin, you never hear it again, it goes in the trash. Spin, you love it, keep it, play that song now. And then pin is like the middle ground, like put a pin in it, like I'm not going to spin it right now and I'm not going to throw it away. Maybe I'll play it another day. All right, so those are the rules. And here come the songs. Okay, here's my random generator on my phone. The first song, I Don't. The second song is Hero. 2 very different songs. And the third song, ooh, okay, Miss You. Bonus track from Charmbracelet era.
Oh.
So those are the 3 songs. You've got I Don't, you've got Hero, and you've got Miss You. You've got a spin, you've got a pin, you've got a bin. Who's brave enough to go first?
I know what I'm doing.
Tell us.
I'm going to spin Miss You. I'm going to pin Hero, and that means I have to bin I Don't. So I think that was really easy. Actually, I was so nervous to come on here and have to do that. But that was actually very easy.
That was pretty straightforward for you. Okay, I'll let Gareth go first, and then I'll tell you what I thought. Gareth, what are you going to do?
I'm going to spin Miss You. I'm going to pin I Don't. And I'm going to bin Hero.
What
Okay.
the fuck?
Gareth, I think you have to turn in your lamb card at the end of this podcast. I think we have to revoke it, Gia, right?
I think, show me your license and lamb registration, please.
I love the vocals on I Don't. I love her vocals on I Don't. Not towards the end, but like the verses and stuff. I love it.
But if we keep I Don't, we have the music video, so it's gone. I'm sorry. It's out.
I always say about I Don't, I can't.
Same.
I just can't. The music video, the whole concept, like it's just gone. So that song goes in the fire with the wedding dress in the music video. The whole thing just goes in the fire. So I can quite confidently put I Don't in the bin. My spin is going to be Miss You. I'm with Gia. We're going to spin the shit out of Miss You. And we're going to pin Hero, because Hero is like historic, it's legendary. Do I ever reach for the album version and play it? No, because it's like it's always there. It's part of my lamb psyche. It's always like within me. I don't need to like hear it all the time. But I'm not going to reach for I Don't.
But you know you'll cry if you hear her sing it live, though. You know
Yeah.
you feel it.
Because that's the thing.
Exactly.
When Hero lives in like, you know, a live setting, yeah, it's definitely a moment. So that was actually a pretty simple one. So yeah, that wasn't too complicated, not too difficult today.
We'll be going on the legacy of the songs because that changes it. But this, as a single, I stick
The
with my
legacy.
choice.
No, but Gareth, no. There's just so many problems with you binning Hero. That means you're never hearing it again. The song doesn't exist anymore, and you're keeping
I thought it just went for now.
No, it's Kill, Marry, Fuck. What do you mean? It's Kill, Marry, Fuck, but with songs. It's not that hard to comprehend. You just binned Hero. You're out.
Okay.
I think
I'll stick with my
we need
choice.
to cancel our podcast. We need to cut the Instagram. I want all of it back, everything.
Wow, so that's actually been quite a dramatic episode of Spin, Pin and Bin then for Gareth. It's all done with love. It's just fun, shits and giggles. And you guys listening, you can let us know your choices in the comments. Gia and Gareth, thank you so much for joining me on Hey Lamb. Let's just remind everyone how they can go and follow you. The podcast is entitled The Adventures of Gigi. The Instagram is also The Adventures of Gigi. I believe it's _adventures of _Gigi. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Perfect. And remind everyone when the podcast episodes come out and about the after show. Tell the kids about that.
Okay, so the podcast comes out every Thursday, and then we have an after show relating to the podcast. When is that, Gia?
Every Sunday at 10 a.m. EST and 3 p.m. London time.
Putting her on the spot there and testing her time zones. I could see the quiet panic written all across her face here on the video version. Guys, we're going to leave it there for now. We are out of time. But everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us. Do go and check out The Adventures of Gigi. And if you would like some bonus content, those of you who are members of my YouTube channel, you can get more of me with Gareth and Gia on Hey Lamb Extra Chop, which is the after show. And we have got some tea today, children. So go and check out the after show if you are a member. And if you're not a member, why not? Check out the link in the video description below. Become a member of my True Treacle YouTube channel and get the after show every single week. Gia and Gareth, thank you so much. And hey, I'll see you in a few minutes in the after show.
Thank you.
Gareth, let's do our bye-bye that we do.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.